Welcome back to our city. I'm pleased to be joined in the second half of this show by Mr. David Evans, the principal at St. Mary's High School in the city of Elizabeth, Mr. Jaime de Leon, the director of recruiting at St. Mary's High School, and Miss Kathleen Stout, the director of advancement at St. Mary's High School. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
I think I've been on 23 years. I'm not so sure I've had anybody from my alma mater on the show ever, so this could be a first.
We appreciate you having us here.
So David, as the principal, tell us a little about yourself. How long you've been there? What are you doing? And you came from out of state, so.
Yes, I have experience in Oklahoma, Texas, New York. I'm beginning my second year at St. Mary's and having a great time. There's a lot of excitement as you walk the halls in St. Mary's. The kids are working. We've developed programs that take really the full spectrum of students that have gaps in their education to students that need honors and AP courses. The activities that the teachers are sponsoring are growing daily. We have mock trial, we have the school yearbook, school newspaper, environmental science club. So there's really a lot of energy that's going in to the school. We formed a board of regents. These are alumni and community leaders that help provide the leadership and the vision for St. Mary's as we move into our second 100 years.
So Jaime, and tell me, the director of recruiting, that I went to St. Mary's and we had a principal and a bunch of nuns. So tell me what the director of recruiting is doing at St. Mary's High School.
Well, as Mr. Evans says, it's definitely a very exciting time. There's a lot of interest in St. Mary's and learning about us and what we have to offer. So one of my goals is to go out and meet as many students as I can and meet as many families as I can and really tell them about some of the great things going on at St. Mary's. So whether that's in the classroom, whether that's athletically or some of the co-curricular activities that are going on. So I'm doing a lot of recruitment and outreach and a lot of marketing and sort of getting our name out there and having folks know that St. Mary's is really an exciting place to be right now.
So are you a Jersey kid? You born and raised here? Or what?
I am. I was born in Jersey City, okay. So I grew up here in Jersey. I went away to college, so I went and lived in Worcester, Massachusetts for a few years while I went to Holy Cross. And then I came back to work on the college side. I was in an admissions office at Seton Hall University, and after that Fairleigh Dickinson University, and then made my way over here to St. Mary's.
Well, we wish you lots of luck.
Thank you.
You seem like the right guy for the job to go out and meet people.
Thank you.
And Kathleen, Director of Advancement. I didn't advance too far at St. Mary's, so not when I was going there. Tell us about your role as Director of Advancement.
Well, part of the St. Mary's mission has always been to provide affordable access to education. So what Advancement seeks to do is raise some funds to make sure that we can provide scholarships for families who need them, keep the tuition within reach for all families in the region, and grow so that we can stay competitive. All the things that I'm sure Mr. Evans will talk about in terms of technology and all the new things that we're producing at the school cost money. So Advancement seeks to help shape that and then pay for it.
So tell us about some of that technological advances. Dave?
Last year we became wireless. We just received a grant that Ms. Stout had applied for to finish out the infrastructure for the technology that we need. We've developed a program so that the software, hardware that needs to be in the classroom will be there both for our faculty and our students, and developed a training program for the teachers so they know how to implement the technology into their curriculum.
And Kathleen, this is a big week for the school. Tell us something about Giving Tuesday and the other things happening this week.
So Giving Tuesday is relatively young. I think this is the 4th year. It's a national initiative where after all the shopping and all the eating and all of the, the malls and the giving, thinking about who you're giving to in your family in terms of gifts, giving back to charity. It's a good time of year, it's a traditional time of year, but in this 24-hour period, people are urged to make a gift to their charity. So we are trying to raise $10,000 in that 24-hour period because we have an anonymous donor who's going to match every dollar. So if we raise 10, we're actually going to raise 20 that day. And so our whole focus of tomorrow is about raising $10,000 to make it
And
20.
it's going to
It's going to scholarships and growth.
scholarships and growth.
Yeah.
And Josephine's Place is involved here? And
Well, what happened, what was interesting, there's a lot of buzz in the school about Giving Tuesday. The teachers have begun to make commitments. The students are going to try to bring in $1 so that we have 100% participation. But the kids who are part of the Social Action Club said, well, how can we give? Shouldn't we be giving to somebody else? So in the spirit of our Catholic nature, they decided they wanted to create something this week to give back to the community and pay it forward. And one of our trustees, Gary Reese, who's very involved with Josephine's Place, suggested Josephine's Place. And we know Sister Judy Mertz over there, and we know the great things they do for women in Elizabeth. And they're just growing leaps and bounds, but they always need volunteers, they always need donations. So since they're our neighbor, our kids are putting on a show to raise $1,000 to donate back to Josephine's Place on Friday. So we're wrapping it as a giving week.
so, Jaime, tell me about Friday and the show and exactly what's going on in the show.
Well, one of my favorite things to do is to tell people about some of the things our kids are doing. And so it's really exciting that we have the Social Action Club. And really what they've done, along with their faculty advisors, Mr. Martin Yelson and Mr. Richard Messina, is really talk about some of the issues that face not just women, but in this specific case, women. And so they've really built a lot of excitement in the building. And so a number of students who are in the Social Action Club have decided to put together this event. It's called Arts for Women. And essentially it's going to be an evening of music, of dance, and some poetry, all run but basically by the students in order to hopefully raise, as we said, $1,000 to cap off this idea of giving and giving back. So, Josephine's Place is definitely part of our community, only 2 blocks from our school, so it's definitely some place that makes sense for our students to get involved with. And this is a great way for them to really, show off their own talents, but also to give back to our neighbors.
So can you let us know a little bit what's in Arts for Women, what's in the show? Are you allowed to tip that off on?
Well, like I said, it's mostly done by our students, so you'll have to come and see them perform.
And this is Friday
I
night.
This is
actually
Friday
saw
night.
one. If I can jump in for a
Absolutely.
second, I saw them doing a rehearsal, and I think that some of the songs are about empowering women. So you're going to get songs that come from the 60s to current day. There's some guitar, there's some contemporary dance, some poetry, one skit around a poem. There are some graduates who are coming back to perform in the show, and there are also some women from
I'm not one of those
No,
graduates.
you're not coming, I know, maybe next year. But I know that some of the women from Josephine's Place are also going to perform, and then some friends from the community. So there are 12 acts. It starts at 7:30. Probably go for about 90 minutes. And
At
it's gonna be
7:30 this Friday.
This Friday night in our
December
gym.
4th.
Fourth.
In the high school gym
In high school.
In the high school gym.
at St. Mary's.
At St. Mary's. And what do you think the attendance is going to be, Dave?
We're hoping for a full house. It's an exciting event because, well, Gary Reese, one of our trustees, suggested it. One of our seniors at Aleke actually has done all the work and the implementation, gathering up the acts, and is the organizer. So it's great to see one of the students that from St. Mary's, reach out into the community and make this happen for other people.
So in these goals, Jaime, do you think you attract students to St. Mary's as well? I mean, one of the goals would be to get some 8th grade kids there, right? I guess?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're looking to have a school of 500 kids over the next few years, and so any kind of outreach that we can do in the community, I think, really adds value and speaks a lot about our school and about our kids within their school. As I said, the best part about it, I think, is that it is student-run, and you get to see our students, what they can do, outside of the classroom in terms of their talents. And so, yes, we absolutely hope to have some 8th graders and prospective families, whether they're an 8th grade or not. Just being a part of the community, I think, is very important to us at St. Mary's and speaks to our mission about, why we're here and who we're looking to serve.
So you're looking to have a big freshman class this year, Jaime?
we're hoping,
That's what I hear from David and Kathleen.
He's looking at 100 freshmen, and we're going to hold him to that.
Yeah, so 100 freshmen would probably be the largest class in how many years?
Probably in the last 20 years, but he's got a great start. He has about 50
about
applications
halfway there.
Already.
for next year already on file. So
And the big push is usually in February, right? January, February?
Yes.
Registration.
But
registration.
he's made admissions a year-round enterprise, and I think getting out the good news, what our kids are doing, what's happening in the classroom, the activities we have, that's the news that needs to be spread in Union County.
And Dave,
he's
you've
doing
had
that.
kids get scholarships to all over, right?
Yes, we've got a great graduation rate, and kids receive a lot of money to go to schools all over the country. So we're very proud of that.
So Kathleen, what are future plans after Arts for Women? How do you continue to pursue the involvement of alumni and others in order to move St. Mary's in the right direction?
Communications are key. So we're doing a much better job of using electronics. So we use mass emails, and we're doing press releases, and we're getting opportunities like this. You know, for you to allow us to come to your show is quite an honor. And we need to be raising about $400,000 a year, but more than that, we need to be building our endowment. We have a small endowment, and what an endowment would do would ensure the future, because if it grows big enough, then every year you have the interest that you can spend to add new things, to keep the academics competitive.
And they are.
And they are.
Yeah, so it's a matter of keep the numbers up.
Keeping the numbers up and also continuing to expand, because things change, as you know, things change so fast that today's technology, you know, 5 years from now might be very different. I know Mr. Evans has a classroom of the future in his vision, where we want to create a prototype classroom.
What is the classroom of the future, since Kathleen raised it, Dave?
We're really looking at what is cutting edge in technology, the prism walls to take place of the whiteboards. We're looking at classroom furniture that's going to allow for group work, you know, the skills that the people need in the workplace. And education's changed in the last 20, 25 years, and we need to be on the cutting edge for that. So our idea is to build one room, and then that's an opportunity to show what we'd like the entire school to look like as we're moving
Well,
into
I mean,
the future.
100 students as a freshman class is a challenge.
It is
Did
indeed.
you set this bar, or they set it for you, and how do you think you get there?
No, I think we set it together as a team.
You did.
know. I think we sat down and looked at, you know, how many schools are Catholic schools are in the area, how many public schools are in the area that have sent us students in the past, and it is an ambitious goal, but it's certainly one that we can work towards, and one that we should work towards for this year. I think just being a big part of the community is going to help us a lot. The more we can get in and just have ourselves be a presence in the town of Elizabeth and in some of the neighboring towns in Roselle and Linden, I think that's going to help us down the road.
I want to thank the three of you for joining us on the show, and I wish you Godspeed to great success at St. Mary's. It's always good to see your alma mater do well, and you know, I wish you lots of luck.
Thank you,
Kathleen,
Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you
and-
so
and
much.
Jaime
Appreciate
and
the
Dave, I wish
opportunity
you well.
to be here.
And I
Yes.
hope all of you and your families have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
you as
Christmas,
well.
Mayor.
So for Dave Evans and Jaime De Leon and Kathleen Stout, I'm Chris Bolwage, and we'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.